up guys, it's your boy JTC and welcome to another Friday Night Fright Night. This week on episode number 5 and I watched the film Digging Up the Marrow. Now this is brought to us by director Adam Green, who brought us films such as The Hatchet and Frozen, not the Disney film. And so you kind of hope he's going to deliver a pretty decent horror film considering that's his genre. And to be honest, for the first hour of the movie, it's pretty damn good. It's set out like a documentary. Basically he's there interviewing people, talking about their favourite monsters and why they like monster movies so much. A lot of artists and a lot of actors he interviews, and then he talks about how he received a letter from one of his fans that states he's found real life monsters. So he decides to go out and interview this guy. When he gets there, the actual fan is played by Ray Wise, who was the Lucifer in the Reaper TV show. Really good actor. And they discuss and he shows pictures of these animals and he talks about something called the Marrow. Now the Marrow is basically an underground lair where all these monsters live, and he says they're not really monsters, they're just deformed children and deformed people that were discarded by society, so they moved underground into the Marrow. As you would. And as I say, for the first hour of this movie you kind of get lost in the story a bit. You actually start believing that this is a real life documentary, that Ray Wise isn't Ray Wise, he's just some crazy old dude who believes in monsters, and Adam Green has gone out to interview him to see him. They go out to the entrance of the Marrow, which is of course in some creepy old graveyard in the middle of nowhere, has to be. And there's quite a nice scene when they're trying to catch it on camera, and first night they don't succeed, and then the second night they switch on one of the lights and there's a great big jump scare when there's a monster kind of straight there on screen. So it works really well. Unfortunately after the first hour it kind of goes a little bit flat. You kind of get to that point where they're going to the Marrow each night and you kind of just want to say, you know what, sod it, let's just go into the Marrow, let's just dig it up and go in there, hence the title of the film, Digging Up the Marrow. Unfortunately they don't do that. I don't want to be a bit massive spoiler, but they kind of just dick about around the entrance of the Marrow and they never actually enter it themselves. I actually lost a bit of interest towards the end, because you kind of want that next step for them to go into the Marrow and get attacked by the monsters in there. They have one big attack scene when they're out of side of the Marrow, which looks pretty good. The monster effects aren't amazing, but it looks okay. But they never venture into the Marrow themselves, they never go in there, and you actually see the poster for this film of a pretty evil looking bug type monster with slanting eyes and big teeth, and you kind of think, oh, that's going to be one of the monsters, that's going to be the main monster. It doesn't happen at all. That monster isn't even in the movie, so it's a little bit frustrating that they don't go there. You get the end of the film where one of the lock-off cameras goes missing and it basically gets returned back to Adam Green's house, and when he watched the footage back, it's got this William Decker, who's the fan who believes in monsters, in a cage in the Marrow, saying there's no such thing as monsters, no such thing as monsters. Then you see the camera being carried by the monster back to Adam Green's house, and then he obviously puts it on his pillow and touches his face, and the film ends. So it's a bit disappointing. It's not the best way to finish a movie. If it was myself, I would have had them go into the Marrow and had a lot more action in there, and I would have probably killed them all off in there as well, but that's just myself. But overall, it is a decent film. The first hour especially is really well done, and you do get lost in the story. So I'll definitely give it a solid 3 out of 5 stars. Go and see it, guys. That's it for this video. If you like it, please hit that like button for me, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.